So, hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 93, and in this video I want to show you how you can extend your die widget, which we already created. What was our die widget, by the way? That was the widget when we die that was spawned. Let me show you this here fast. I start here the game.
Let's see if I find this cultist.
And let's say here comes the dragon out and I die. So you can see this is this widget here. And you die, and in this video I want to show you how you can add this continue button, but it's very easy actually, and then we open up this next level. Let's make this very fast. So first of all, we go to the right place. That was the place where we spawned this die widget. It was here in my case. And interesting is now I added this after the code from the last video. The last video was when the tentacle is moving to us, right? And then we die. That was what we made in our last video. And after this, I just called the die widget. And here, note, the whole block, what you see here, we will just create a collapse. And make a function, or we collapse the nodes and make a little block. But right now I have to show you the extended version. So first of all, let's start here. We have already made this already in one of our other tutorials. We have create widget, animation widget. I opened this one. That was this widget which I showed you, but this time I added a button as well, and I added this image for test purposes. I hope you can make this. It's very easy. Let me show you at least for the button. So again, we are back to our animation, which we already have, the die animation. It's still the same thing here. Of course, you can make here another one too, but I make this all in one, so I can call it one time and all are triggered at the same time. And yeah, now let's say I want to animate here another button to demonstrate this. So what you do is just, first of all, we add a button. So we go here to the palette, right, button, we get a button. Just for test purposes, I make it not perfect, but because I think you know what to do. You have to align this. Let's go here to the right side to anchor, and I align it here in the middle. Then you can make this a little bit bigger. Put it here. Then let's put here on the left side. I search text. And then I can drop it here on the button. It's possible to drop it, or you can use it here on the hierarchy, make it here and rename all this kind of stuff. I have not renamed them just because I just test this here, demonstrate this here. And then you can go here, select the text block, go to the right side, write what you want. And for test purposes, I write here, okay, just so. And of course, all the settings I skipped now because this is when you are going to make it right. Let's align this a little bit more. And yeah, so we have now, let's say we have now our button, and let's give a color perhaps too. Let's say this color is blue, or something like that. So now I have my button here, right? And the next thing what I do is, again, you have to animate it like old time, like I showed you this in my other video. With the animation, you go to your animation if you have already created it. Of course, you can make here a new animation, but I don't make a new animation. I just use here this animation again. You select this. And before you select this other button which you just created as well. Because when you click now here in the middle box, after you selected this one, this track here, you can see this button one, which I just created, is here. And you can add it to your list, which means this one is now added to your animation list. And now we can, again, create an animation. And this time, it's not color and opacity when you click here on this plus sign here, because here you are going to add what you want. Last time we add for this text and for perhaps picture was this color and opacity. This time we want make visibility. So here is something like visibility. Let's click on this one. And then we can, again, this drop down menu. Here is the visibility setting. Let's go here a little bit on top, this one a little bit higher, so that we can see this. And you can see here's the text block. Careful, that's not the right one. Why I'm here. I need the button. So I have here to select the button, and this button drop down. So, and now the button has here options, visible options. Important to note is careful that you don't misunderstand what collapsed and hidden means. Collapsed is the thing which we need. Hidden means just it is hidden, but it is still taking the space here, which we don't want. So most time we want normally this collapsed version here. So, and at start, I want that it is collapsed, which means it is hidden and it is not taking the space here. And then you are just again putting here this middle thing. You can see we have a key here, and I want only make it visible at the end, which means button 0, is this button 0? Oops, sorry. I think I have again the wrong button here. I have the button 1 here normally. Why I have here button 0? And that's okay, I have anything here strange. I think I used here the wrong again. Sorry for this one. It's button 1 here. And here we again button 1 because I have not named it and not tracked it. Okay, again button 1 plus set the visibility. Now we have the visibility. It says here visible. Change this at start. I want not visible at start. That's why I said it collapse. Collapse means it's not taking the space. Let's make here a key, and you can see when I press here in the middle there should be a key now, and then you go to the place where you want to make it visible. In my case it's at the end, and then this time you change this one to visible, and you can see now there is a key, and that was it. And then you compile and save, and you can see when we scroll and test here, or you can test it, so it's working, right? It comes there, and the same thing you can make with the color. I made this all for test purposes. This was our animation which I showed you already. I hope you understand this, but we have to do here one more step. We can click away now this animation, or we can just make it little and go and switch here to the graph. And here in the graph what we have to do is just select your button which you just created, get it, not get it, sorry. You can right click it. Oops, not here. Where is that? Normally what I search is you select your button, right? Then you go to the details panel, and then you go down in the details panel, and then you make a on click or on press, depends what you need. Let's make it with on click, and then you can just here make, let's make open level by name, because after I say continue and after I'm dead, I want go to the main menu. So you can see here is the main menu which I already have. It must be exactly the name here when you are using this level menu, so it must be correct. How you can make it, it's very easy. You go here to your folder, you go to the levels, let's say this is my, then you press F2 for rename, but don't rename it, then press just Control C, then you have the exactly name, and then you can paste it here in it. So that's not a big deal, but this is the fast way I use. And then with that we are almost finished, not exactly, because now we just finished the widget, which is cool, which we can test. But instead of testing, we have to do one more thing, because let's go here back to our create widget. Here we create the widget. Here I made a reference. Last time I said you, if you don't make this reference here from this point here, promote to variable, if you don't make this, you can see this one is used in many different places. And then yeah, then we have again this spaghetti code which we try to avoid. It looks a little bit more clean and straightforward. That why most time make a variable which you can use. And then so that's why it's the same code what we already created, but it looks only a little bit nicer. So you can see we create the widget, I select the animation, I mean the widget blueprint, where this widget here which I created. Again, add to viewport. Here we play the animation, and you can see it is the same animation which I'm playing, and that's why I made it all in one. I don't need to have to call now here another animation. Oops, sorry. We go here to the animation section. It is still this die animation because all is here. They are all played at the same time. And if you made here another animation, you have to call this separately. Keep this in mind. That's why this still works. but I added here one more thing. You can see this is this new block here. Let's do this one as well, because when you create an animation, a die animation, you don't want that the player has is playing more or less the game, right? And there are different ways. Normally you are deactivating the mouse, but anyhow the Horror Engine mouse is set up differently than normal, and that's why you can make this here. Perhaps this works all time. So what you do is, first of all, yeah, let's get the player controller. Get player controller like old time. This player controller is index 0 because it's only one player controller. As long as you make not a multiplayer, then you have to think here a little bit more. But this is just one single player, so 0 is all time right. And then what you do is set input mode. Set input mode, and the input mode, you can see you have here normally 3 options, but of course you have a little bit more. But here are the 3 main options, and one of them you have to choose. And after you die, you don't want that the player should use the input mode in game. He should just use the UI. UI means you user interface, so that's why you can say here setup mode UI only, which means he has no choice but to click what comes on the UI. And then that's it. Almost what we have to here. We have to let's see, this widget again, which widget we should focus. And like I said, I created here the reference here. That's why I don't have to go here, and I can just get here the reference, which is here, or you can just select here this one. I think it's also possible, but anyway, then you have this one. So you can see that was this block what I made here, and now you have to make here this thing here too if you play on PC, and I make it for PC, so show mouse cursor. All right, then it's very easy. After this one, just write show mouse cursor, or set mouse. It's the sorry, we have to use it again from the player controller. You can see I could not call it because I have to use the pin from the player controller. So you can see sometimes you can't call it, then you make this one. So out from the player control, now set mouse, or now write show mouse. Now it works, and there is the setter mouse interface, set show mouse cursor. Then you connect this here, double click for a reroute. Here you click this one, and that's it. And then this one here you connect to the one thing what we already created in our last time. That was here this camera shake, and deactivate character movement. And the problem is here, like I said, normally you would make here disable input, but this one is strangely not working. I said it's a little bit strange setup. This node we can forget, but important is that you make this part here first. And if you make this, then this one here is done, which means we are almost finished. Or that way, I think I don't need this one here. And the next thing what I want to show you is one more thing. When we are real finished, like I said before, this whole block here we can now collapse to one function, because this one looks really really hard, but actually when we think about it, you can see this one is just spawning the widget, right? This one is spawning showed the mouse cursor, so this belongs all together. All right, and this one is here camera shake, and this belongs not really together, but you can choose to make this one block here, and then this one I think I would just take all together. Let me show you what I mean. First of all, how we make this, all time make it this. Also, as a start, I would go this way. Just don't collapse instantly. Just copy all the things what you think, what you have. So you see I copied all this, and now collapse this code because you can test this, right? So, and let's say this time I may want to make a function, but you can make a node, but I think I will call this later. Let's make a function here this time. And you can see the whole code what is here. And the reason why we can make here a function, we have here no delays, and I think should be easy to config. Let's see, do I need here special input and output. No, I don't need. It's perfect and easy. And with that said, you can see now I have this function. And again, for test purposes, just don't delete this instantly. Just test when you are doing this. So you can see the whole thing, what we have here down, I have now here, and that looks much easier. So here later. And yeah, also I have to, this one I will go rid of in a moment, but let's push this here for test purposes, just here. And you can see our code becomes smaller, smaller, and smaller the more function we use. But I need to use this all time when I'm finished, because you can see here I want to do something and then I will make this one small. And all time when I'm really finished, then I make them small. Before I'm not finished, I don't want to really make them small, because I'm most time changing it a lot. Okay, but you can see what's going on, right? The whole code what looks so difficult becomes easy and easy manageable, because this is a programming principle. Just make all things separately and in own blocks so that you can test them separate, very easy. And this one is, and the nice thing about the function, like I told you, is you can call this again if you need. So if I need this one, I can call it again very easy, right? And we will do this with the whole code, which here, when we are finished, we collapse all in little blocks, which will be so easy and very easy to work. But we are not finished. I have to go on. So I want to show you this too, because, yeah. Let's test this. Sorry, let's test this, what we have here.
Let's see if I find this cultist.
So we have here this one. And in the next video, by the way, I want to show you that when the tentacle comes to us, we die. But when we accidentally work to the tentacle, we die also. This one we will do in the next video. I die now. It's very easy. But here is the widget which I have, and here is the mouse. You can see here is the buttons, which is not configured right. Of course, it's just for demonstration purpose. You should make the UI very nice and stylish, and of course, but you get the idea. And when I press now OK, I'm here in my main menu, right? So that's it for this video. I think it's cool. And like I said, in the next video, we continue with this. All right, with that said, if you have any questions, like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and like all time, have fun and never give up.